Bring it.
Let's start with the pledge. Whoever, somebody lead.
All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
For all.
This is whether to follow him or follow him.
There's a delay on that.
Thought I was back in high school going around.
All right. Be accepted as presented.
So moved.
I'll say that.
All right. Got the motion, would you please have a roll call?
Mr. Bullers,
Yeah.
Mr. Mattson,
Yes.
Mr. Pisarcik,
Yes.
Mr. Van Steemer,
Yes.
Mr. Caldwell.
Yes.
Chad's on as proxy.
Oh, sorry. Mr. Weaver.
Yes.
Didn't know you could see the line. Okay.
All right, we're looking for a motion that the job report for November 2020 be accepted as presented.
So moved.
Second.
All right. We have a motion on the floor, roll call, please.
Mr. Weaver,
Yes.
Mr. Bullers,
Yes.
Mr. Mattson,
Yes.
Mr. Pisarcik.
Yes.
Mr. Van Steemer,
Yes.
Mr. Caldwell.
Yes.
All right, looking for a motion that the prisoner's transport report for November 2020 be accepted as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Motion on the floor, looking for a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Weaver,
What?
Mr. Bullers,
Yes.
Mr. Mattson,
Yes.
Mr. Pisarcik,
Yes.
Mr. Van Steemer,
Yes.
Mr. Caldwell.
Yes. You just sit up here, I can scream.
So this is kind of funny to you guys as it does to me. Anyhow. So, we're looking for a motion that the financial report for November 2020 be accepted as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Thank you. All right. So motion on the floor, we have a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Weaver,
Yes.
Mr. Bullers,
Yes.
Mr. Mattson,
Yes.
Mr. Pisarcik,
Yes.
Mr. Van Steemer,
Yes.
Mr. Caldwell.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, now we're looking for a motion that the intermediate punishment report for November 2020 be accepted as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Thank you very much for that. So we have a motion on the floor. Is there any discussion or anything that we need to think about on this? Everything good? All right, roll call vote, please.
Mr. Weaver,
Yes.
Mr. Bullers,
Yes.
Mr. Mattson,
Yes.
Mr. Pisarcik,
Yes.
Mr. Van Steemer,
Yes.
Mr. Caldwell.
Yes.
Okay. We are looking for a motion that the restrictive intermediate punishment drug and alcohol program report for November 2020 be accepted as presented.
So moved.
So. Was that a second also? I'll second. Okay, there you go. Thank you. All right, roll call vote, please.
Mr. Weaver,
Yes.
Mr. Bullers,
Yes.
Mr. Mattson,
Yes.
Mr. Pisarcik,
Yes.
Mr. Van Steemer,
Yes.
Mr. Caldwell.
Yes.
Okay, we'll be going into old business and, I don't have any notes, so, if anybody has anything, if Dustin there, or anybody, please bring that up.
Yeah, I'm on here. I don't have any old business, sir.
Okay, thank you. All right, then I guess we'll go to new business.
I
Anybody
just-
got some new business out there?
I just have a question on, November 19th, we received an email that shut down the Orange Patrol due to COVID-19. That consisted of 1 or 2 inmates and a person taking them out with very limited to no contact with the public. But yet we have almost 50 inmates either coming from other counties or leaving for work release that have full contact with the public. And I was just curious why they weren't shut down also to protect the jail from COVID-19.
Okay, so, to start this, could, Dustin, could you speak on this first, your thoughts on this?
I'm sure everyone around the table knows my thoughts on this already. I'm not a big fan of work release to begin with. I do have to agree with Carl though. I mean, if the work release program is still going to continue, I have no objection in holding the Orange Crew guys back, especially on a day like today. I mean, we need them out there. We need them seeing the sidewalks and doing some community work. So I have no objection to those guys going out whatsoever. I would, however, like to see all of them held back in due to protecting the other people I have incarcerated up here and also my staff members. I think sending these guys out to work releases, putting them at a great risk, not only staff, but the other inmates as well.
Okay. So, I spoke to Jeff earlier on this, and then Jeff, I'll have you just jump in there. So, the commissioners had talked one day in particular because we talked about, things that we was in control of, and of course at the time, I think we was all really, really in favor that we needed to stop people in and out, but we did not want the, like everybody working from home and things like that, so, and Jeff, if you would, I believe you and the judge maybe had a conversation, could you just enlighten everybody on that, so that's all?
Yeah, I think the day before, maybe it was 2 days before that, when COVID was starting to go rampant in our county. I asked Judge Fedora his thoughts about shutting down work release, which he basically oversees and lets them out again. Of course, the commissioners oversee the Orange Patrol as far as having powers of what happens at the jail. And he was okay with the Orange Patrol being shut down, but he wanted the inmates to go out and go to their jobs so they can pay off their fines and whatever else costs they have. So I know Dustin is, the warden's not a fan of anybody leaving the jail. So as Herb just said, that Jack and Herb and I all agreed that we should do whatever we can to stop people going in and out. Plus, as the sheriff knows or doesn't know, he's over on his budget for his part-timers. So it just kind of worked out well. So, and yeah, they could have been out shoveling snow today, but it seems like as far as the county property, it all worked out with maintenance. So it is what it is.
I guess my only comment on that would be, what's the budget have to do with COVID-19 and saving lives at the jail or the guards or?
Well, the budget has nothing to do with it.
I'm talking-
Long answer.
And then we also, we also had Elk County inmates and they wanted to transport, and I talked to Dustin and we tried to do electronic virtual, and the judge in Elk County refused. So those inmates are coming in, coming out also. And at periodic times. I think if we're gonna shut something down that needs to be shut down, we already have offices in the courthouse that are closed. We have people off with COVID testing positive. What are we looking for? If we get it in the jail, we're one of the fortunate counties, I believe, that does not have it in the county. And what are you gonna do if you do get it? We're gonna have big trouble. Because in the confined of the jail, it's spread, and then you're looking at guards and everything. I know people that have the COVID right now that he wore a face mask 8 hours a day at work. I don't know about when he left work, but he has COVID-19. So actually the mask means nothing.
That's your opinion.
Yeah,
That's your opinion.
Yeah.
And I mean, the commissioners can only control what we can control. The judge says work release is happening, so we can't overrule that. Our control is the Orange Patrol. We want to limit as much in and out as we can, so that's the decision we made.
We're doing our part, that's how we feel.
That's what we're doing our part.
Well, I'm doing my part by bringing it up about the approved work release program with 22 people going out and 23 coming in from other counties. It's same thing.
Talk to the judge.
Talk to the judge, and I'm sure you already have.
No, I haven't. No, as soon as I got this, I sent an email out. Of course, the only person that answered it was Dustin. He agreed with me then, just like he does today.
Yeah, sending anybody.
I mean,
out, dangerous.
my interest is, taking care of the 200 people under my supervision up here, not only inmates, but also the correction officers as well. I mean, we're taking every precaution we possibly can up here. We're cleaning, staff and inmates alike are all wearing masks anytime they're out of either their office or their cells. We're still doing the quarantine process of 7 days as soon as they get here. If an inmate shows any signs or symptoms, whenever outside entity brings them into us, we send them right out to go get tested, and then we immediately quarantine that person when they get back until we get the results. And I can't give not only the inmates up here, but also the correction officers up here enough credit. I mean, DOs couldn't have did this by themselves. The inmates, they understand what's going on also. And I mean, they've also been a great help up here, just complying with all the different orders and all the different things we've asked them to do and trying to change. But same thing, we're taking a lot of guidance from Tracy. He's given us a lot of new ideas, following him along with that. Like I said, we've been very fortunate up here, and hopefully, just based on our luck, I hope it continues. And these guys are doing a wonderful job up here.
So, just for a conversation, let's just say we have days like this, multiple days and stuff. Dustin, this is directly to you. Is this something that if we needed those guys, they can come out, or is it set up now where there is no such thing as Orange Patrol? And then I guess maybe Carl, also with Earl being laid off, that would stop that if we actually needed them for a day. Just
and as far as the facility goes, we haven't changed anything in our day-to-day with the work release guys or the Orange Patrol guys. They're still in the same housing unit. If they say, hey, it's time to go, these guys will be ready to go. They want to get out there. They want to get some fresh air and do something. So, no, as far as the facility goes, we're ready. All we need is the word.
It never made sense to me.
Okay.
It just never made sense to me from day one to allow anybody to leave the jail because, okay, you had prisoners going to work at the cleaners where they are handling known COVID, waste. And, the prisoners are in the jail because they weren't following the rules to start with. For them to be handling known COVID waste and handling it and then coming back to the jail, it blew my mind that was being allowed because, okay, Dustin, somebody's mad at you, and I'm just using you hypothetically. I'm mad at Dustin because he looked at me cross-eyed at the jail. I'll get back at them. I'll come in with that, and they're handling it. They got the perfect opportunity to really nail the jail in the whole county. I've never understood. I mean, I understand paying off fines, paying off all that stuff, but, you know, on the other side of it, I never understood that part of it from day one.
And so, I mean, this is, of course, conversation, again, it goes back to, the judge. And, I don't know if his feelings have changed any since it is becoming more and more prevalent within the county. Again, Jeff, Jack, Carl, something, is this something we want to, Chad on there? Is this something we want to discuss with the judge again, just to see if his tune has changed, or, what would we do there?
I would be fine with that. I know my team hasn't changed any, and I feel like pretty much everyone sitting around that table feels the exact same way I do. It's all about keeping people safe. That's my job.
I'm sure Chad will take it back to the judge. Is that not true, Chad?
Yeah, I'm actually trying to get into, we had a small break in a hearing. I don't know if he's gonna be able to jump on or not. But yeah, that conversation, without a doubt, we can get that established.
This whole question, it doesn't make any sense to me because we're arguing that we shouldn't have anyone outside of the jail. But or any work release going on, but since we have the Paris going on, then we should also have the Orange Patrol?
I agree with the commissioners wholeheartedly. If they want to close down the Orange Patrol because of COVID-19 and the protections to the jail, I'm all for that, and I have no problem with that. I just don't understand why we're taking 2 inmates and closing them down while we allow 22 people on this sheet to go out for work release. It's money.
It's what we control and what someone else controls.
I always thought the jail board controlled the jail.
Talk to the judge.
We asked for a meeting. That's all I have.
So I would say, you know, if the judge doesn't jump on here, we try to set something up where we can have a discussion with them. And, I do truly believe that it would be better off for everybody if nobody was leaving the jail. I know Dustin's doing a great job up there. He's got his hands full. And, you know, God help us if COVID gets in there, that's all I can say.
I did have one more new piece of business, or just kind of like an announcement. Along with our video visitation that we set up here a few months back, we also started doing off-site video visitation too for friends and family and things like that. It actually seems to be working out quite well. So a family member or a friend can request permission to do an offsite with an inmate. They'll get online. You can find all that on the Jefferson County website, on the brochure. But they simply do a visit from their home. And it helps a lot. I mean, they don't have to travel in these conditions, and they don't have to come out here during the pandemic either. So, like I say, it's working well. We've had it in place for
Could I ask?
weeks now. It's doing pretty good.
I guess this would fall under old business, Dustin. We talked about doing the doctor transports virtual. Were you able to find anything out on that?
I did talk to Prime Care. I think they were still trying to figure out what their capabilities were on their side. As far as us go, I mean, we're ready. We can do it. We can use one of these big conference booths or something like that to do that. It's just, we can even use the laptop the doctor uses whenever she comes in here. It's just pretty much in Prime Care's court right now. If they want to do it, I mean, we're all for it at the jail.
I just haven't remembered we talked about that at the last meeting.
I believe Judge Fort Ord entered via phone.
Okay. Hey, how we doing?
Perfect.
Jack or Jeff, what do you guys lead that conversation so it's not skipping a long time?
Judge, Carl's questioning the work patrol people going out to work. The commissioners shut down the Orange Patrol, would you say the date was?
November 19th.
November 19th, and Orange, work release is still going out. So he's questioning why. Is that true?
Well, it's just, if we shut down the COVID-19, if we shut down the Orange Patrol, which is 2 people who have limited accessibility to anybody outside for COVID-19 reasons, but yet we're sending 22 people out to work release, and they have contact with numerous people. That was my question.
That's up to the commissioners. If they want to use them, they can. Frankly, I don't know what they do, except keep 2 people away from work release. I know I'm getting wages from the work release people. As long as their employers take them, they're going up. They're there to keep a job or earn a job while they're there. I mean, at one point, when they did other work, the Orange Crew learned something, maybe not. I mean, I don't think they learn anything now other than people who are pretty lazy have to go there instead of get the job when we have jobs available. But it's between you and the commissioners. If the commissioners want to use them, they can, because they do services for the county. Other than that, we're going to run a work release as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. That was the question.
When employees get COVID, I expect the warden to put them in the negative air room and we move on. If we get as many that upset the jails, then we don't. But we've had employers who've laid off and we got to put up with it. I can't call them and say, take these people.
Yeah, by the time that we would figure out that one of these workers would come up positive for COVID, it's too late. It'd be way too late. It'd already be detrimental to the system.
Well, then we'll be detrimental. We need people working. Do your best. You've done a great job. I expected to have it by now. We don't. We're going to keep working. That's my position.
Okay,
I mean, if the Orange Crew wants to go out, they want to go out. The commissioners cancel it. That's up to them. It's their crew. I'll still approve people for it.
The Orange Patrol, I thought those were people that were waiting for a position to go out to Paris or wherever.
A lot of them refuse to go out there. They just don't.
I don't know. I just know when they're on the Orange Patrol,
They have fun.
we have them on.
Absolutely.
That's
They
nice.
realize they're sitting there, then some after 2 or 3 months come on. Some can't get a job anywhere else.
Yeah. No, I just know Orange Patrol, we get, periodically, they get pulled off to go to Paris, and I thought they were just out there waiting for an opening at Paris or Humphrey Charcoal or wherever they go to work.
And sometimes they are, but most of the time they just refuse to go there initially.
all right. Okay, any other questions, guys? Judge made it pretty clear on his thoughts. That's what we needed to hear from you, Judge, I think, was, the conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anything else, gentlemen?
Nope.
Everybody shakes their head no.
Can't you hear?
Okay, I heard you. All right. So, no other new business? I guess at this stage, is there any press on, Jack, that would be asking questions or anything like that?
I don't see any press on the live feed, and I don't know about the phone call, but there's nothing on the live feed.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess this conversation can be had, at a later date again or whatever. But I guess this kind of wraps it up, then we'll look for a motion that the meeting be adjourned.
So moved.
Second.
All right. Thank you, everybody. The next meeting is January 26th, just so everybody knows. Have a good day.
Take care of yourself.
Thanks.
You think you'd be around, like, stop?
Just working for, yeah, some of the, I'm gonna, early afternoon, go home.
Yeah, it's like, I'm glad I did mine this morning, this sun comes out, it should melt that right on the driveway.
Snowstorm last night. I picked up last night, reefer down.
But I plowed last night and then this morning I plowed, it was 17 degrees. When I took that layer off and here it was wet underneath, my driveway just turned to shit. Then my tractor, you know, I don't have chains on it, it's dumb spinning, I'd have to go down and come fly back up again because I couldn't get up the hill.
Yes.
Well, she said so